Recording in progress.
Yeah, hello guys, online people. Hope my voice is clear for you. Can you please respond through chat? Okay, so let's go to directly to the things. So today I'm going to set up cluster one more time for you, and we will start the deployment and pod creation and all these things. So I have already an instance running. It is one. Okay, so I'm terminating all of this and creating new instance. Launch an instance. Instance name is cops I'm giving. And this key pair also I'm creating a new key pair for it, cops. Instance type I need to take medium. Security groups you need to allow all traffic. I do have it on my this one, launch wizard 2. And EBS volume 20 is enough. If you want, you can take 30. Okay. Click on launch instance. So I am using Mobextum here. And go to your downloads page. Here you are having your PEM file, right? Move to desktop. Which theme you want? Light or dark? Light, okay. Cam dark. So you know how to connect to it, right? Click on cop, go to connect, select this one. So in the meanwhile, I'll open the cops setup documentation. So what are the first three steps, guys? Installation of AWS CLI. So I have all my 3 steps here. Sudo yum update -y. Oh, sorry. Like I'm going to increase some font size for you. Is it clear, or do you want me to install some font size? Clear, right? Okay. Increase chesina parleda? Okay. So just if you want to increase the font size, you right click here. You will be able to increase your font size. Okay. Increase font size. If you click one time, it will increase some size. If you want to increase one more time, give it like this. So log into root user and paste all these 3 comments. CLI installation is done. Now I need to set up the path, right? So copy this one here. vam.bashrc. And here you need to give command called export command with a variable called path. So this is going to be your variable, guys. Okay. So you are going to export your AWS CLI, cops as well as kubectl to all of here. So copy this one directly, paste it, and here you need to give source bash rc. Step number 1 is done. Step number 2 is installing kubectl and kubectl, what we are going to install? Kops tool. Okay. So I'm going to install kubectl kops. So both I have installed. So I need to give executable permission for this both, right? chmod plus x kops as well as kubectl. And after that, I need to move this to which place? User local bin. No, kubectl. You are moving kubectl, right? So give kubectl. And after that, move kops user local bin as I'm naming it as kops. So give the version kubectl version and kops version. Step number 2 is done. One is CLI installation. Step number 2 is clear for everyone. And step number 3 is infrastructure creation. Okay. Where it is. Yeah. So before that, we need to configure, right? I need to configure AWS credentials. So I do have my last one here. So give the AWS configure. It will ask initially your. So last class, what we have given user credentials. No, I have given some name to it. Give me a second. Let me verify here. IAM. Which user I have given? Yeah, actually, my brother deleted this user and he have created 2 more user. Okay, let me create a new one. Kops. Access key is enough. Permissions. Here I need to give full access. So create a user. Okay, here you are having access key and secret access. So if you want to download, you can download from here. Okay, but I don't want it to be available on my local. US East -1 table. So first of all, like what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a bucket. Okay, so I'm directly going to run all these comments. Yeah, sure. Okay, this bucket name is already existing, so I'm going to give it as some other name, Raham, or else like you. What we can go. Let me give Swiggy. Okay, it is done. And after that, I need to give bucket versioning enable, right? First step is your on infra part. First step is bucket creation. Second step is enabling the bucket versioning. Oh, here I have Naresh Shetty, right? Okay, but anyways, let me replace. And step number 3 is exporting the state. Remove your Naresh Shetty and you need to give Swiggy space. Okay. So after that, we need to create a cluster. So this is the command to create a cluster. And here you need to rename it as Swiggy. So cluster is creating. It will take a few minutes to update. Okay, if you give the command kops get cluster, you are going to get a cluster. Okay, so if you want to really give the configuration, you can give the configuration, or if you don't want, run this direct command. It is directly going to create my cluster now. So total, if you observe, we are having 96 steps total. Okay, you can see how many number of steps we are going to perform. It will consist of each step like subnet creation, internet gateway creation, VPC creation, all these are totally 96 tasks totally. Okay, the cluster is starting. It will take few seconds to start. Okay, so we need to wait for a couple of minutes. In the meanwhile, let me explain what is pod. You know pod, right? What is the meaning of pod? Pod is the smallest unit that we can deploy on Kubernetes. Okay, pod will consist of containers. So pod is smallest unit of deployment on Kubernetes. We know it actually. If you want to create a pod, you can create on two ways. One is by directly running command. Second one is for don't see there. Japan. Yeah, pod can be created on two ways. First one is by running a command I can create. kubectl, I can create a pod directly. What is the second way of creating the pod? What we write on Kubernetes? Which file we are going to write? If you observe, manifest file. Second way is creating a manifest file. If you create a manifest file, you can create a pod. Or if you don't want to create a manifest file, you can directly run a command to create a pod. Okay. So to create a pod, like first of all, we need to get our cluster ready. Then only we are able to create it. So let's wait for a few more minutes. Okay, so online people, if you are having any doubts regarding this cluster creation, you can ask me because it will take some time. See, if you observe, only one node is created up to now. Okay, we need to have another node up and running. So our control plane is ready actually. And what we need one more thing? Control plane means master. It is ready. You are able to see it. And we need to wait for the worker node to activate. So it will take like few more minutes. So in the meanwhile, let's understand. See, pod is the smallest unit of deployment as we can do in Kubernetes, right? How many ways we can create it, guys? First way is by running commands. Okay, if you want to create a pod by running command, you are using kubectl command line tool. By using kubectl, run nginx -image, and you need to give the image name for the pod. I mean, pod means inside the container. You are having creating a container, right? So to create inside a container, to create a container inside the pod, you need to give the image name. That image name you are giving is, if you want to give busybox, you can give busybox, Redis, Alpine, or else like HTTP, whatever you want, you can create. Okay. So give this command, kubectl run nginx. So that means you are going to run the container called nginx by using which image? Yes. Container name is nginx as well as image name is, yes, actually this is your pod actually, not container, because container is inside the pod. So you need to run the pod initially. So go for the mobex term. I need to make my both nodes up, and yeah, it is done. Both nodes are up and running now. So I can start my working. So give the command kubectl run nginx is my pod name, guys. Okay, if you want to give your name, you can give your name. For example, if you want to give Raham hyphen name, okay, Nginx Alpine. See what will happen now. Alpine. What is showing to me? Unknown. Here I need to give what? No, basically I need to give image there. But what I have given there? Name. So just replace this name with image. So you are creating a pod called Raham by using which image? Pod called Raham is created now. Okay. This is the simplest way where you can create a pod. Inside a pod, you are having container running with which image? Nginx Alpine image. If you want to get the list of the pods, kubectl get PO. PO means pods. If you want to give pods, okay. If you want to give PO also, it is enough. Same output is going to happen. So name of the pod is, and here you are having only single pod. Single pod is available for you. 1 by 1 means. Okay. Out of 1 pod, how many pods you are going to have? 1 is available for you. And pod is on. Have you reached out the pod? No. And the age is the number of seconds before you created the pod. Okay. This is the basic way. But if you want to create by using manifest file, you can create it by using .yaml manifest file. Okay. So just create a file called vm nginx.yml. The manifest file you need to write with very carefully because you are having every indentation correct. Okay. See. And one more thing before going to create this one. Like I will show you some other thing for you. Actually, if you give the kubectl get PO, you get the pod. But are you aware on which master node or worker node the pod is running? No. Give the command kubectl get PO -o wide. In this node you are going to run. If you want to test it, give the kubectl get no. Just compare 2912. 2912 is your node. So this pod is running on your worker node. Is it clear for you? Okay. So this is the basically the way of creating a pod. If you want to delete this pod, the command is kubectl delete pod/pod name. What is your pod name? Raham. Is the pod deleted now? Give the command kubectl get PO. Are you getting any pods? So this is the way of creating pod as well as listing the pod and deleting the pod. Is it clear for you? But again, if I want to create pod by using manifest file, first of all, create a manifest file like this. vm nginx.yml. Here, first of all, you need to give these things. API version. API version means it is the version which you are using to creating the pod. Okay. This is the version that is supported by COPS as well. Second one, what is the kind of resource you are going to create? I am going to create a resource called pod. My resource name is here pod. Metadata means what is the name of the pod? Nginx. After that, on specification, here I am going to use a container, right? If I want to create a container, I need some image. So image name is, and here name means, here this name is for pod and this name is for container. That's the only difference. On the metadata, you are going to give the name of your pod. On the specs container, if you give the name means the name is for container. So let's try to do this one. And remember, here on API version, V is capital. As well as on kind pod, P is also capital. These both must be on capital only. So go to here, mobexterm, and start giving this like API version. I am giving it as V1. After that, I need to give type or kind. Kind. Kind is my pod. After that, I need to give metadata. If you observe like indentation, everything needs to be follow on the same line. So metadata, I am going to give the metadata name as. Here you can give your name as well. I am giving my name for the better sake. I need to give specs here. So here if you give containers hyphen image name is Nginx, and here one more name is, this is the container name actually. First name is your pod name. First name is pod name. Second name is your container name. If you want Nginx, you can give Nginx, or if you want ABC, you can give ABC as per your wish. Okay. Spec means specification of the container. Okay. Inside the pod, you are going to run a container. So what kind of specification you are going to give to the container? Okay. So just save this file. And if you want to create a pod by using this manifest file, there is a particular command you need to run. That is kubectl create -f. What is our manifest name? So that means kubectl is the command line tool that is creating a pod for me by using which one? Nginx.yml manifest. If you hit enter, see what will happen. Is the pod created? This is the second way of creating the pod. First way is directly running the command. Second way is manifest file. Okay. Is there any like difference of having any confusions on this manifest file for everyone? Is it clear for you, for all of you? Don't we have any queries or any confusion? Okay, then perfect. So if you also again give like this, if you give this like kubectl get PO, what you are going to get now? List of the pods. Again, my pod is running. And if you want to know which node this pod is running, what is the command we need to give? Kubectl get pod -o wide. So it is running on this particular node. And again, if you want to see which node it is, you need to give the command kubectl get no enter. Which node it is? And if you give -o wide, you are seeing the internal IP as well as external IP for it. Okay. And you are able to see the OS name as well as kernel name as well. Clear? So -o wide means you are going to get some extra information of this. Clear for you? Ardhamainda meeku? We're having some discussion, I think so. Okay. Okay then, sir. Again, if I want to delete this pod, what is the command to delete the pod? Kubectl delete -f is not required. Give pod/pod name. Like pod name is Raham actually. Is the pod deleted? But we have a disadvantage of creating like this, because the main disadvantage, if we delete this pod, we are not able to access it. But on real time, if someone delete the pod by defaultly, if you create like this, then the whole service is going to be failed. So for that purpose, we are going to create something called as your replica set. Meaning of replica set, you all know, because we have seen it on Docker Swarm, if you remember. Replica set is nothing but creating the multiple pods. Okay, same pod, one pod you are going to create, but you will get the copy of same pod. So replica set is nothing but the group of pods. So that means you are going to create a single pod, but you are going to get the how many copies as per your requirement. If one pod crashes, that means if a pod is crashed or deleted or not working, then replica set is going to get another pod automatically. Okay. The manifest file we are going to use is this one. This is the big manifest file. You need to understand. So first of all, I will go as per the understanding. So first of all, like API version is common. Like here we are going to give v1 as well as apps, because for replica set you are going to give the apps. What is the kind you are creating? Replica set. So R is capital and S is also capital here. Okay. And metadata, that is your pod details. What is the name of the pod? And here you are going to give the run call Nginx. It is what you call as your label. What it is? You can ask me, sir, why we need to give the label? Okay. For example, if you are having two pods, you want these both pods to be running at the same time. You have two pods, pod 1 and pod 2 needs to run at the same time. Pod 1 will have some other name, pod 2 will have some other name. But if we give a label, if we give that label, both pods which is having the same label is going to run at the same time. So that is the main advantage of having label. If you give the label to the pods, if you are having 100 pods with the same label, you can run all the 100 pods at a single time. Okay. You need not to run single pod like this. You can run all the 100 pods at a time by using labels. Can we use another name of? Yes, definitely. If you want to use, you can use HTTP or BusyBox, whatever you want. Okay. So after that, on specification, if you want 2 replicas, you can make it is 2. But I want 5 replicas. I am going to give it as 5. And selector is something. If you see something, I have wrote down here. This one. Yeah. And again on selector, we are going to match the labels same as run Nginx. Okay. So that means container label, sorry, pod level we have given it as on pod level. On container level we have given it as again Nginx. And template means the kind of pod you want to create of the replica set. Replica set means what is the pod you are having needs to get the same copy, right? So for that purpose, you need to prepare a template. Okay. So template for the metadata, I am giving the same label because what is the label that I have given to the pod is the label need to be given to the template. From the template, I am going to give the container. So give the spec again. Container same, image is Nginx and name is Nginx. Remember, if you give Nginx here and ABC here, it is not going to work for you. Okay, that thing you need to remember. Nothing guys, like previously we have given specs, we have given kind metadata we have given, but the only thing we have added is replicas and templates. Okay, one more time I'm explaining for you. Kind is replica set we are going to create. Metadata is nothing but the details of pod which you are going to create. Okay, I am going to create the pod name as Nginx replica set. Okay, the pod name now I'm going to create is, but the label I'm giving it as Nginx. And again, replicas, how many replicas you want? If you want 2, you can give 2. If you want 3, 3, like that. Selector, you are going to give the match labels and L is capital again here. Okay, you are going to give it as run Nginx. So that means it is going to take wherever you are going to run this Nginx, it is going to collect all the pods from the Nginx image. Next, template. If you want to create replicas, we need to create the template. The template again consists of the same label. And finally, we are creating your container image. I am taking Nginx, and like after the name of the container, I am giving it as Nginx. You need to remember all the things you need to give Nginx only. If you give Nginx one time and give ABCD Raham as another time, it is not going to work. It need to match each and every label that you are giving. Yes. So go for your MobXTOM and create like this. Make it side by side for you to better understand. Okay. So first of all, you can use the same thing. Okay. Or if you want to create a new one, VIM Nginx hyphen replica set dot YML, or you can use dot YAML as well. So first thing I need to give it is API version. API version I'm giving it as app/v1. For pod we are going to give v1 only, but for replica set deployment, all other things I'm going to give app/v1. And after that I need to give, I'm going to create replica set, and S is capital here. Remember this one. Third thing is your metadata. Here I need to give the labels. Let me scroll a bit down here. And on labels, you are going to run it is as Nginx. And the name of the pod is Nginx hyphen replica set. Okay, after you need to give the specification. So I'm giving it as spec. In this specification, you are going to get how many replicas you want. So give the replicas 3. Give it 3. Okay. And after that, use selector. On this selector, you are going to give the match labels. And L is here, capital. And after this one, you need to give again run Nginx because you are giving selector as well as label. Okay, run Nginx. And here now you are going to create some template, right? This template will follow same for all the pods you are going to create. You are going to give 3 replicas, right? All these 3 replicas will follow this single template only. So create template now. Under template metadata, it is for what? Again, labels. Which label you need to give here? Same label. Here the same label, here the same label, and here also the same label. Run Nginx. And finally, you need to give your spec here. This spec is for container only. Okay. So give it under metadata. Containers. And after containers, hyphen image. Which image you are going to take? If you want to take HTTP, you can take HTTP also. Okay. If you want to take Ubuntu image, you can take Ubuntu image as per your requirement. And on last, I am going to take here. Name I am giving it as. Have I missed any indentation here? Okay. Escape shift : WQ. Now, if you want to create a replica site, you are going to run the command kubectl create -f, and what is the manifest you are going to create now? Nginx replica set. Hit enter. Is it created now? If you give kubectl get PO, previously how many pods you are having, guys? We have deleted all of this. Initially we have deleted everyone, right? All the pods we are containing deleted. So as of now we don't have any pods, but I have ran this a manifest file and I give kubectl get PO. How many pods you are having? 3 pods, right? 3 pods only. The pods are replica sets you are having. Okay. Kubectl get RS. RS means replica set. You can give like this, replica set. Sorry, spelling is wrong. Replica sets, how many you are having? Don't take it 3. Replica set is single. You are having 3 replicas. You are having single replica set. Okay. Desired amount is 3. Currently you are having 3 ready. And ready state is, so all of these pods are going to run. For example, if you try to delete any of these pods, so I am deleting the first pod. Kubectl delete. Just directly give this one. See what will happen now. Hit enter. What is showing? Because you need to include this pod, right? So you need to give pod / this one. Is the pod deleted now? Okay. But if you give kubectl get PO now, still how many you are seeing, guys? So that's the beauty of replicas. If previously we have created a pod and we have deleted that pod as well. But after now, with the use of replica set, I have created a pod and delete the pod. Is the pod automatically replaced or not? So this is the way how you are going to work with replica set. Okay. And if you want to see where it is going to run, just to give -o void. Where all these are running? Same node or different node? Same node. And the IP address is also same. Different or same? IP address are same. For each pod we are going to maintain separate IP address, but the node is. To assign this IP, which component we are going to use? To assign this IP for the pod on the node, which component you are going to use? Kubeproxy. Exactly. So Kubeproxy is responsible for assigning IP address, DNS, and all other networking rules for the pods on the cluster. So okay, replica set is done. If you want to delete the replica set, you don't want replica set anymore. the command you need to give is kubectl delete rs replica set slash name of the replica set. Nginx replica set. Hit enter. Is the replica set deleted now? You kubectl get rs now. Are you getting any replica set? So this is the way how you are going to create your replica sets and maintain these replica sets on your cluster. Is it clear for you? Okay. So the third thing we are going to do is deployment now. So I am going to deploy the pod now. I have created the pod. I have created the replica set, but I need to deploy the pod, right, on Kubernetes. The difference between this pod as well as this replica set is nothing but features are same. But on replica set, you don't have option to roll back. Okay. Replica set, you don't have option to. But if you create the deployment on Kubernetes by using manifest file, you can roll back to your next version. But the best thing is here you can do without downtime as well. Okay. Downtime means that time up to, for example, I have an application. Application is not available for 2 to 3 minutes. That is called as your application downtime. Okay. This kind of terms you are going to hear on interview. Like what is the default downtime for application? So ideally, we will recommend to go with 0 downtime. That means application is never going to down. Ideally, we will recommend, but it is not possible in all the cases. Some case it is possible and some case it is not possible. Okay. So to roll back, which we are going to use? Deployment. If you observe, everything is same here, guys. We need not to change nothing. Here, the only thing you need to change is kind to. Yes, all other things are same or not. Just you can say deployment is advancement than replica set. Replica set is advancement than pod. Okay, pod creation. And this deployment is advanced than replica set. The only difference is you can be able to roll back by using deployment. By using replica set, we are not able to roll back. So go to your same manifest file. Just don't do anything here. Just you like this. First of all, move this nginx deployment.yml to, or else like copy the same content. Copy nginx deployment, replica set to nginx -deployment.yml. I am copying the whole things here and give nginx deployment.yml. Here, kind you are going to change as. Kind we need to change as deployment. And if you want to change this pod name as well, replica set to deployment, you can make it as deployment. Just save this one and do nothing. Okay. Now, if I want to create the deployment, what is the command we need to run? kubectl create -f nginx -deployment.yml. What is saying to me? It is only saying one thing to me. Only one error we are having. Read that one. Invalid. So go for metadata VIM nginx.yml, deployment.yml. Just rename this one. Just give small d here. Okay. Run the same command now. Is it written now? So on metadata, when you are working, don't give caps letter. Okay, use always small letter. This is the indentation error, like you are going to do it on your practice. So don't do that kind of errors. It will be going to throw you an error. So now just give the command kubectl get rs. Sorry, you have created the replica set, right? But sorry, you have created the deployment actually. But why replica set is coming here? It is. Yes, exactly. So deployment, if you want to create the deployment will create the replica set. Replica set will create the pod. Okay. If you create the deployment, it will create automatically. It will automatically create the replica set, and replica set will going to create the pod. So give the command kubectl get po. How many pods you are going to have now? Are you having all the 3 pods? You have created the deployment here. You have created only deployment here, but deployment created the replica set. Replica set created the Have you understand the hierarchy now? The flow, how it is going to be. That's the only difference. And now the deployment is done. Okay. So it is saying that deployment has created replica set and replica set created the pod. Here the application is going to be presenting on inside the pod. If you want to access the application, okay. If you want to access the application is going to be inside your pod. To manage and update the pod, we use deployment. Okay. If you want to delete the replica set, you can delete like this. If you want to delete this complete replica set will be deleted. If you want to delete the direct deployment, kubectl delete. First of all, we need to give deployment, and after that, we need to give nginx deployment. Okay. So this is the way how you are going to create the deployment, but the still pod is not accessible, because if you want to access the pod, you are going to maintain it as service. You need to create a service that is your cluster IP, node port, as well as some other load balance service. If you are able to create this, then only you are going to access that application. I will cover that later. But on today's concept, we are going to left with something called as your namespace. What is it? Give me a second. I will explain this. Okay. So give the command kubectl get deployment. Have you got the deployment? Okay. See, observe. If you delete the directly deployment is going to delete the replica set. Replica set is going to delete the pod. So give the command kubectl delete deployment / and the name of the deployment. It is directly going to delete all the replica set and pod. If you want to check, you kubectl get pod. Are you seeing any pods? And you kubectl get rs replica set. Are you able to see any replica set? No. If you observe anything, if you don't find anything, if you don't have anything, it is going to give me this. What it is? So what is namespace then? Huh? Rolling back. Huh? Who said that? Deployment, I said to roll back. Okay. But namespace is something, it is only allocated for some specific user. If I am a user and you are a user, we both are working on a single instance. If I want my pod separately and your pod separately, then we are going to use something called as your namespace. This is the concept that you are going to get on our interview point at any cost. If you are going to attend interview on experience level, they will ask you what is the meaning of namespace. So this is your very, very important concept. So listen carefully. So namespace, it is the way to filter out stuff for different users in a single machine. For example, if you are having different kind of users on a single machine, all those users are going to work. If you want to separate each user work differently, you are going to use your namespace. So if you get command like this, kubectl get ns, do you have any namespace actually? But default it will give you the 4 namespaces. How many you are going to see? The first is one your default namespace. Second one is your kube node lease. Lease means to borrow actually. Okay. Third one is your kube public, and fourth one is your. So if you give the kubectl get ns means you are going to get 4 things. First one is your default namespace. Second one is your kube node lease. Third one is your kube public, and fourth one is your kube system. Let's understand what exactly this meant for. Okay. See, default means it will get the default namespace actually. We need not to explain anything. Default means it's the basic inbuilt value. Okay. And what is the meaning of kube node lease means? It is used to lease the object. For example, if you create a pod, that is actually called as your object. Okay. If you take the lease objects associated with each node, that improves the performance of the node heartbeats as a cluster scale. Okay. So that means actually if you are having a cluster, inside the cluster, you are having some multiple pods. If you want to take any of the object for the list, you are going to use the cube node list. Just to simply to borrow the objects, we are going to use cube node list. And cube public is something. If you want to create an object that might be your pod or container or replica set, whatever you can. If you want to create an object and if you want to make available for publicly, that means to all the user, you are going to use cube public. Cube public is to borrow from other node. Cube public is to make the object available publicly for each and every user on the cluster. And after that, you are having something called as your Kubernetes use this to create its own object. For example, if Kubernetes want to create an object itself, okay, then we are going to use kube system. So Kubernetes will build its default object on kube system. So these are the 4 kinds of namespace you will have. First one is your default. Second one is it is used to borrow objects from the other node of the cluster. And kube public means to make available the resource to all the user. And last one is kube system. If Kubernetes want to create its own object, it is going to use kube system. So these are the 4 kind of namespace you are having by default. Sir, I don't want like this. I want to create a namespace on my own name. Okay. So the command you are going to give it as kubectl create namespace. Shortcut is ns. I am going to give the namespace as Raham. Is the namespace created now? So give the kubectl get namespace. You can give the namespace or ns. Have you got the Raham namespace now? So Raham can create his own objects on his namespace. Okay, this is fine, sir. After that, I need to have something like this. Okay, you are going to configure this one. Without configuring, you are not going to enter into your original namespace. If you want to configure your namespace, this is the command kubectl. Okay, kubectl config set context. So I'm setting the context to my name. So the context name namespace is I'm going to give it as Ram. So that means what are the objects that you are going to create on the further, you are going to namespace get it as Raham only. So this is the command to set your default namespace. It is modified now. So what are the objects that you are going to create on swiggy.cluster? It is going to create on which namespace now? Raham namespace. Okay. So now, so I want to check it now. If I want to check it, I can create a pod and I can get the namespace. So I can create pod it on 2 ways. One is by using nginx.yml. Second one is I have my manifest file, right? So give the command kubectl create -f nginx.yml. Is the pod created? Pod name is, but how can you know is Raham is running on this namespace? There is a command. If you want to list out all the pods, all the deployment, all the replica sets. Let me try to create deployment set as well for your understanding. Kubectl create -f deployment. Here it is. So I have a prod as well as I have a deployment. If I create the deployment, I will have replica set as well, right? Give the command kubectl get all. If you give get all means you are going to get the pods, replica sets, deployments, as well as nodes as well. If you observe here, have you got all of this now? You got all of this. But again, like where it is shown, it is created on this particular namespace. Okay. Let me delete any one of this. I'm going to delete this deployment for now. Okay. So I am going to delete like this. kubectl delete deployment / I don't think so. It will be like even like this. Let me delete this one. It is deleted now, right? So give the kubectl get deployment. No. Do you have any deployment now? it is showing that no resource found on Raham namespace. So that means, are you working on your current namespace? So this is the way how you can set your namespaces. Clear for everyone? So what I have done is I have entered to my namespace. I have created few of the resources and deleted them. By deleting, if I want to access it again, it is saying that on Raham's namespace, you are not going to have anything your deployment here. Give the kubectl, get RS. Replica set are you getting now? How is deployment is deleted. So that means replica set is also going to delete. So no resource found on which namespace? On which namespace? So it is the way how you can set your default namespace on per your requirement. Okay. So the next one. Or if you want to like see what are the resources available on your namespace, you can use the command grep command. You know grep command, right? So give the command like this: kubectl get PO. Okay. I want pod only running on Raham namespace. Grep Raham. How many pods do I have running? Only one pod. And I want all the resource running on Raham. So you kubectl get all grep Raham. So these are the all the resource that is running on your Raham namespace. So just create one more thing. Create deployment one more time. Okay. Deployment is created now. So if you give kubectl get all slash grep. If it is case sensitive, give -i. Okay. And give the name Raham. So that means all the resource that you are creating on Raham, I want to filter it out. Have we got all the things that which Raham is running on? Just give the kubectl get all. Have we got all? But I have this grep, right? By using grep, have I got all the things? Why am I not getting all the things? It is not. It is not. Because the thing is here you need to, I have given the pod name here. If you able to understand this logically, I have given get all. So that means all resource I am going to get. I haven't given the namespace here. If you want to get the namespace, kubectl get NS. So have you got your namespace now? Have you got it or not? So this is the way how you can set up your namespace and you can do work on your original namespaces. Clear for everyone? Okay. So like if you want to go inside the cluster, actually it is the thing. Let me show you. Yeah. Palla, cheppandi. Okay, do you want me to stop the class now? Okay, not a problem. Actually, I thought of covering 2 to 3 topics now, but it's okay. Guys, what about you? Do you want me to stop or do you want me to continue for today's class? Okay, I am getting stops or NFs are good for today. Okay, then it's okay. I will stop for today. Okay. So let's recall what we have done today. I will going to make it. So first of all, on today's class, we have begin with again kops cluster creation first. Kop setup. After that, we have creation, pod creation. After the pod, replica set I have covered. After replica set, deployment. And after that, finally, namespace. So these are the things we have covered till now. Okay. And again, I will tell you one thing. Don't try to remember this manifest file. Even I am not able to remember all these files. Okay. On real time, you will have your Confluence. Confluence is the thing where you are going to have all the things access. Okay. On real time also, no matter how much experienced people they are going to use the reference document for it. Okay. All the people is not able to remember all this manifest file because it is the basic manifest file. But if you go for the real time, you will having 100 number of lines of manifest file. So no human is going to remember all this manifest file. Just understand the manifest file. It's enough. If you want reference, what you can do is Go for here. Just go to here and type like this: Kubernetes pod creation manifest files. If you type like this, you can get a lot of documents. Are you able to see this one? Just copy paste, that's enough. Okay, no one is going to remember all of this, so don't try to remember. Just understand the concept. What is the meaning of pod? What is the meaning of replica set? What is the meaning of deployment? Namespace. Just try to remember this only. Okay. And let me give the history comments for you now. History. Do you want this COP setup or do you want the comments from this one? Today's requirements. No. Actually, you have COP setup yesterday, right? So I'll give the comments from creating this one. Okay. 27, I'm giving the comments. Let me paste it here. PL. Day 2. Let me stop recording. Online people, I'm unmuting all of you. If you having a you can speak with me now. Yeah, go ahead, guys. You are having any notes, you can speak with me now.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hello.
Hi, Rahul.